Are you familiar with Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama? Yeah, he's representing people of Alabama. He was a football coach. I looked into his career, and he's obviously won his football games and stuff. He had the blockade of military promotions, which was like hilarious in my opinion. But the people were freaking the fuck out. So it was whatever. And he kept us cool. And I thought that he played it pretty strategically. I mean, he got a lot of attention. He showed them that they better start paying attention to these senators. He basically took some authority back for the whole fucking Senate again over these military officers, because you're just giving them carte blanche constantly for years, and just anyone. You have no idea who these people are you're promoting. You're not doing your job. But he's saying, like, I don't know who is running our country. He's talking about Biden and the policies, the strategy, the SEALs, the Tower 22, like all this shit. And it's true. There is no strategy. There's no one who has strategy. Even honestly, these military officers and these generals that I complain about sometimes, maybe not the ones over the top, but I mean, they're not happy about it either. I mean, there's no strategy, there's no vision, there's no person who can make good, tough decisions and who will stand by them. It's just they just do the least risky thing all the time and just let the pot simmer forever. I had some quotes, I guess, from what he was saying, but he's back, he's giving his strategic analysis. And I'll tell you what, Steve, I think that as a senator, that he might be the most strategic senator in the Senate since maybe Lyndon Johnson or something like that. Because if you think about it, he's been in strategic match. He's like a chess player where he's in strategic games with very smart football coaches, war football teams, I do this, you do this, I trick you, whatever. I come back, you come back, and different strategies and everything. And he's won. And he's been in he's been in the arena, and they don't respect him because he was a football coach. But I mean, he is bringing that, and he is just outmaneuvering them. He does say some stupid shit. I get it. I mean, he's a white Southern senator. He just pops off, and he's an old man. I mean, he pops off on shit. But strategically, this guy is I don't think he'd be president, but as a senator, he's going to be quite a senator. Well, I mean, a lot of them are just bureaucrats. I mean, these are basically just bureaucrats. They're not real military people. I mean, there are some fighting generals. Yes, I understand that. And they go on deployment and they have to make decisions about war. But most of these generals are just program dicks. They're just office motherfuckers. But it's yes, we have fighting generals and these noble sacrifice type people and all that. I'm not trying to pillory them, but I'm talking about the DC, Northern Virginia generals who are doing all this business shit and all this technology programs and intel generals. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just this office bullshit. And there's too many of them and everything's bloated. They're too old. They do a bad job. They're wasting all our money. And yeah, he showed them who's boss for a while. And eventually all the other senators kind of outmaneuvered him, but he was okay, no harm, no foul. And, and he still retains, he can block him again if he wants or whatever. So he says in his recent analysis on this TV show, he says, if you don't make a decision, you let them know where you stand, which is basically it's in the football field. This guy is he's who's calling the fucking plays? Who's calling the plays in Jordan? Who's calling the plays in Yemen on the boat out there and all this shit? I mean, that's what he's saying. The football coach is saying, who's calling the plays? Who is the offensive coordinator? Who's the defensive coordinator? Who do I fucking talk to here? He says, if you don't let them know where you stand, what your strategy is, they're Iran's well, we could probably do this or that or whatever. And he says, we kind of ride the fence. And in a football game, in a competition, in a match, you can't ride the fence and just see how things go, You have to be on offense, I'm not saying just willy-nilly attack people, but you got to have a good strategy and execute it. He goes on to talk about Israel. He says, same thing is going on in Israel right now, saying that we're riding the fence. A lot of this is happening because it's taking pressure off of what Israel is doing. So he's talking about the retaliation on Iran because now everybody's not paying attention to Israel and they can churn up the Gaza Strip a little bit more or whatever until the Palestinians can get back in the headlines. So yeah, it probably does help Biden a little bit. It makes him look presidential. His poll numbers were super shitty, mainly because of Gaza, and he's just doing a shitty job. But I mean, I think this analysis is right. I mean, these 3 young people dying was good for Joe Biden. Straight up. It allows him to do this fucking bomb these dirt huts out there, and that's on the news, and it boosts his popularity up, and he doesn't have to talk about Gaza. There's no strategy, though. What's the strategy? Can you explain what our strategy is in Gaza and Yemen or with Iran? I mean, what happens next week when 3 more young people get killed over there? Like,